Back again with another one and another death on the world stage. Sportscaster Greg Gumbel dies from cancer at age 78. And I want to give a shout out to Richard West, who actually covered this story as I was still kind of putting it together. But shout out to Richard West. This is why we come together, so we can watch each other's breakdowns and we gather new information and we catch on to some other connections. And I'll mention that more as we go forward. But Greg Gumbel dies from cancer at age 78. Here he is right here. And you see his younger brother, I think, over here with him, Bryant Gumbel, which I was semi-aware of that, but until Richard brought it to my attention, I was like, oh yeah, right? So he's got here they are right here. Also a sports guy. You see Bryant Gumbel in kind of like the brown jacket here, his younger brother next to him. And that's very, very interesting. Here's Bryant Gumbel right here, American television journalist and sportscaster. And then again, RIP to his older brother right here, Greg, American television sportscaster. Now, why is that interesting with Bryant Gumbel? Because there was just a fire at Bryant Park in Manhattan. Right here, you see Bryant Park holiday market fire. All of these stories they're connected, right? And it all starts with the language. Okay? So that's not a coincidence. And there's a lot of Kobe Bryant energy as well. He had a fiery helicopter crash. And his death date anniversary is right around the corner. January 26th. And when I drop the Bryant Park fire breakdown, you're going to see all the connections with Kobe there. And I'll probably bring up Bryant Gumbel again as well in that one. Okay, so again, shout out to Richard West for putting me on to that Bryant connection there, because I probably would have missed it. So, okay, so the older brother to Bryant Gumbel, Greg Gumbel, has passed of cancer. Here he is right here. I'm going to read a little bit of the article, okay? A longtime CBS sportscaster who broke barriers during his career, calling some of the biggest sporting events. RIP from cancer. I don't see where they say what kind of cancer, but according to a statement from his family released by the network on Friday, and again, he was 78, he leaves behind a legacy of love, inspiration, and dedication over 50 extraordinary years in the sports broadcast industry, and his iconic voice will never be forgotten. Wife Marcy Gumbel and daughter Michelle Gumbel said in a statement, in March, Gumbel missed his first NCAA tournament since 1997 due to what he said at the time were family health issues. Okay, that's interesting, right? Family health issues. Gumbel was the studio host for CBS since returning to the network from NBC in 1998. Gumbel signed an extension with CBS last year that allowed him to continue hosting college basketball while stepping back from NFL announcing duties. And this is big right here. let me click on there, click there, and then go back over here. In 2001, ooh, that's a very interesting date with that Bryant Park, Manhattan, New York uh, connection, right? Think about New York in the year 2001. There was another fiery event that took place that year involving two buildings, remember? Okay, but in 2001, he announced Super Bowl 35 for CBS, becoming the first black announcer in the US to call play-by-play of a major sports championship. So that's going to be the huge connection here. You see it right there. And I'm going to go forward and we're going to play a news clip. And then I'm going to show the connections. Okay, y'all?
We begin with that breaking news about our CBS colleague, Greg Gumbel. The legendary sportscaster has died at the age of 78 after a battle with cancer, according to a statement from his wife and daughter. They said Greg approached his illness like one would expect he would, with stoicism, grace, and positivity. He leaves behind a legacy of love, inspiration, and dedication to over 50 extraordinary years in the sports broadcast industry, and his iconic voice will never be forgotten. CBS's Dana Jacobson has a look back at his remarkable career and his life.
He was synonymous with CBS Sports.
Voice?
Greg Gumbel's distinctive voice.
It is caught! Touchdown, Torrey Smith!
Resonated loudly from the football field.
And it is ruled a touchdown!
To the racetrack.
I'm Greg Gumbel. Happy Valentine's Day to you and yours from all of us at CBS Sports.
To the basketball court.
Well, welcome to our New York studios and the NCAA Basketball Championship Selection Show.
And everything in between.
Topham comes up throwing to the plate!
Gumbel was beloved as a studio host of the NFL Today and a play-by-play voice for the NFL on CBS. A pioneer as the first African-American to announce a major sporting event, and a fixture on CBS's coverage of March Madness.
Tonight marks CBS Sports' 23rd year covering March Madness.
He also anchored Winter and Summer Olympics. Gumbel had battled health issues over the past year that kept him out of broadcasting. His voice silenced, his presence missed. CBS Sports, in a statement, said of Gumbel, there has never been a finer gentleman in all of television. Greg Gumbel was 78.
Okay, and health issues, they do exist. People do have to battle them. But these celebrities, when they go through these things, why all the connections that are undeniable, right? And it exposes the language, the alphabet we use, these words with multiple meanings, these patterns, this number system, right? The number equivalent to the letters in the code that we use, which is gematria, to show you that these stories are just like pumped out of some computer system. That's my opinion. And it's like insert character here, okay, by the numbers. Remember Y2K, they were worried about the computers. They put that kind of narrative out there, right? Because all of this stuff is ran by computers, okay? There isn't somebody just sitting writing out these articles, okay? Okay, so look at this right here. So he's born in New Orleans, Louisiana. I know the upcoming Super Bowl is in New Orleans, Louisiana, okay? And that's Super Bowl 59. And isn't that amazing that New Year's Eve and New Year's Day is right around the corner? Okay, New Year's, New Orleans. And that's been hitting a lot with these trending stories. We had a New York Knicks big story. You know, they had a big win on Christmas Day, and I covered that. And we've had nearly every breakdown recently connected to the holidays. All right. And I've been proving it on this channel daily. It's been maybe over the last week at least. Okay. But born in New Orleans, that's where the upcoming Super Bowl 59 is, Caesars Superdome. And look at the name Gumbel. It reminds me of gumbo. Gumbo, Gumbel, and gumbo. Look at on Google, is gumbo a Christmas dish? So it is very much a cultural tradition to serve gumbo on Christmas Eve night in Catholic families in South Louisiana. They would never do without this late night meal. How about that? Greg Gumbel passes. He's born in New Orleans. The Super Bowl's there. New Orleans known for this dish called gumbo, and it's connected with Christmas Eve night in Catholic families. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't mean he's a Catholic. It doesn't mean all of that. I'm just saying it's all with the language. Gumbo, gumble, as I state one more time. And you see some of the ingredients or whatever up there. We don't need to get into all of that. But holy crap. And again, New Orleans and Happy New Year. Come on, man, right? And again, Super Bowl 59. I need to note and see if maybe we have a 59, because I don't think that I was checking that when I was doing the breakdown. These breakdowns come together rather easily. I record these videos, and then as I go, other things will pop up, right? So maybe I remember to check to see if there's a 59, but we have more amazing connections in the meantime. Okay, look, that's the reduction cipher right here. Remember, there's number values attached to these letters, and it's just 4 base ciphers I use with the English language: forwards, in reverse, and the same thing, but numerology applied to both the reduction ciphers, right? Look at in reduction, New Orleans, Louisiana, 83, and Greg Gumbel dies of cancer on an 83 date numerology. Look at that. 12 plus 27 plus 20 plus 24. Also, Louisiana equals 38, the reflection. And if you don't know about 38, murder, death, killing, RIP, all equal 38. Death numbers, okay? And morgue and murder also have 83. I'm not saying that that's what happened here, but you get the kind of dark and dreary, is that a word? You get the dark number connection with the 8338, with a lot of those words that equal tragedy, right? So 83 numerology, he passes on. New Orleans, Louisiana equals 83, Louisiana 38. And you see, has died from cancer. Okay? Oops, wrong way. And notice this right here. The 101 has been hitting. Sophie Hediger passed, the snowboarder, at age 26. Okay, and that was connected with Lindsey Vonn. And that's interesting because I also connected that to Von Miller, football player, and you get this sportscaster. But Lindsay, as in Lindsey Vonn, Lindsay equals 101, the 26th prime, and Sophie Hediger died at 26. Well, here's another 26 101 connection with this other trending story, as I said. And look, even Louisiana L like Lindsay. That's wild, isn't it? But, and I have that breakdown out there. Okay. So Louisiana, where he's born, equals 101, the 26th prime number. And Cancer equals 26, just like sports equals 26. Remember, Sportscaster. And Cancer and sports, you also get the 37 right there. All right? You follow me? And notice Cancer has 44, New Orleans 144. But I want you to, and kill equals 44 as well, just saying. Again, I'm just giving you facts here. You can take what you want with this information, okay? Look at, I want you to see that New Orleans equals 126. So you get the 26 in there, like sports and Cancer. And again, the 26 prime, like Louisiana. Or excuse me, the 26 prime 101, like Louisiana, equals 101. Now look at over here to the right. So look at his death date, December 27, and his upcoming birthday, May 3rd. Okay, so he passes 127 days before his next birthday. In between the two dates, 126 days, when New Orleans equals 126, sports, Cancer, 26. You see that right there? And this is amazing because remember the Kobe Bryant connection. Okay? Remember, and this guy's brother, Bryant Gumbel, and the Bryant Park fire, and Kobe passed in a fiery helicopter crash. Well, Kobe Bryant's death date is 126, January 26, right around the corner. Okay? And again, that energy is lingering. And Bryant also equals 37. And you see Cancer in sports equal 37. And I think Bryant also equals 26. And remember, that connects with his brother, and it connects with Kobe, and it connects with sports. Bryant, 37 and 26. You see it right there? And back over here, you see the fire. And look, you're going to see his passing date, 126. And you know why that's amazing? Because who drafted Kobe? Who drafted Kobe? Look, the Charlotte Hornets. And Charlotte Hornets, they connect to New Orleans because check this out. Are the New Orleans Hornets connected with Charlotte? Look.
According to Instagram, on November 4, 1988, the Charlotte Hornets played their first ever regular season NBA game in the Charlotte Coliseum on Tyvola Road. The team remained in Charlotte until 2002, when the owners moved the franchise down to New Orleans.
You see that right there? The team remained in Charlotte until 2002, when the owners moved the franchise down to New Orleans. So you see how it all comes back around and it cycles back to New Orleans. And that's on the fly right there. I almost missed that. And Michael Jordan is trending as well. Okay? And remember, Chicago equals 37. Jordan also equals 26. Everybody knows Jordan is connected with Kobe. And because Michael Jordan's mansion just sold. You see that right there? And look, 9.5 million. Remember, Michael Jordan equals 59, and the upcoming Super Bowl is the 59th. You see that right there? With the sports connection, and I'm showing you how all of this stuff is connected, and you get Kobe Bryant's birthday right there in Michael Jordan. You see that? 23rd day of the 8th month. And Michael Jordan also equals 113, like Kobe Bryant. And this stuff is well documented if you follow work like this. Okay, I've went over all of this stuff plenty of times. It'll take too long to go over it again now. But you see those amazing connections and how it all ties back to Greg Gumbel, who passes, and his brother Bryant Gumbel remains on the world stage. And you see the Bryant connection. And don't forget, there was the fire at Bryant Park in Manhattan. You see that? Okay, so that's as easy as I can explain all of that. So back over here. And remember, New Year's is 1/1. So Louisiana 101. You see that? You get January 1 in there, okay? Right? And notice the date. His According to a statement from family released by the network on Friday, and that's his death date. Look, 12/27. So one day before that was 12/26. Okay? One day before his death date was 12/26. 12/26 is like 126, right? And that's amazing too, because he died 127 days before his birthday, and 127 is like 12/27. You see that? His death date. Wild, right? And he passed at 78. Like, I didn't stretch and try to find a 78. You know what I mean? I didn't feel the need to, but there might be one out there that I missed. If anybody catches it, let me know. Again, I'm not gonna like stretch and try to make it work. Okay, now Super Bowl 35, they say he's synced up with. He announced Super Bowl 35 for CBS, becoming the first black announcer. So that's a big thing for him, right? Well, his birthday is 3/5, the third day of the 5th month. How about that? To sync up with Super Bowl 35, right? And then you get kind of a race thing here too, because they want you to know first African American. And I'm not black, you know. So I can't give a super heavy opinion on that, but sometimes I just cringe when I say like, oh, African American. These labels that they put on us, and we've been lied about history. It's obvious we've been deceived. Um, okay. So this is just like words that they're using, and I'm just putting the info out there, right? So first African American announcer to call play-by-play. So a big thing, his birthday the third day of the 5th month, and he announced Super Bowl 35, the first black announcer in the US to call play-by-play of a major sports championship, right? As we go deeper into that Super Bowl 35, you see Ray Lewis, I guess, was the MVP. And the Ravens are all connected with death and misery, right? And everything connected to that team in Baltimore. You never get a positive story out of Baltimore unless it's sports related. You know what I'm saying? Usually it's some kind of tragedy within the community, because everything's got a balance like that, right? Look, so Super Bowl 35, they defeat the Giants. Ray Lewis, you see the MVP? Look at how they almost scored 35 points to sync up with the number Super Bowl and the Greg Gumbel birthday. But anyways, he earned Super Bowl 35 MVP honors as well as Defensive Player of the Year. Look at his birthday is 12 days after Greg Gumbel's, with that connection there. Okay? And Greg Gumbel equals 52 in the reduction cipher. Ray Lewis with the 52 on the jersey. Wow, right? And look how Greg equals 28. And the Super Bowl was on 128. And remember, that connects with the 126 date with Kobe Bryant's passing, which was 2 days prior. Yeah, a different year, obviously. But the 126 connection, right? And New Orleans 126. So you get that super close date there, don't you? And wow. Wow, right? Notice how Gumbel equals 24 and RIP as there's a few days remaining in the year 24. But Greg Gumbel equals 52 because if you add 28 and 24, you get 52. Okay? And again, the Super Bowl MVP of 35 connected to Ray Lewis, number 52, right? So you see how this works? And notice how Super Bowl 35 was in Raymond James Stadium and Ray Lewis was the MVP. Shout out again to Richard West because we get that 128 connection, Richard, if you're watching. We get the 128 connection and then you get James. And I know you know that's more probably personal with connections with you, but you've put it out there, right? So you look, you get James right there, and you get the 128, okay? And some of y'all, look at that right there, and it's a 128-day span. Can you believe it? From his death date to his next birthday, and that's from start to end. So he died 127 days before his next birthday. But if you include the start date, it says end date there, but same thing. From start to end, 128 days. So that even connects with the date. And remember, Greg equals 28, and that 128 connected to the 126 Kobe passing date. And, this guy's brother, Bryant. Come on. Okay, so again, shout out to Richard West for putting me onto that Bryant connection. I probably would have missed it. And notice the head coach, even, you get double B. Look, you get Brian, the head coach for Baltimore, which is like Bryant. Sounds like Bryant. That's amazing. And you get Brian Billick. Okay, and like Bill, remember Bill Clinton trending lately with the fever, right? Jim, look at that, Jim Fossil. Can you believe it? Head coach of the Giants. Anyways, let's go forward here. Wow, right? Okay, so born in 46, RIP in the year 24.
Right now, some sad news. We've learned within the past hour that legendary CBS sportscaster Greg Gumbel has passed away. Gumbel served as a longtime play-by-play announcer and studio host. He hosted the NFL Today on CBS and several Super Bowls and Olympic Games. Greg Gumbel did play-by-play for the NFL on CBS until last year. In a statement, his family says he passed away following a courageous battle with cancer. Greg Gumbel was 78 years old. Right now.
So they say.
Right now.
Okay, there's always more. There's always more with these connections. Gosh, can I even add Ray Lewis, Kobe, and all of that to the thumbnail? Maybe not. Is that an ugly Christmas sweater that he has on? And RIP, what, a couple of days after Christmas, y'all. I don't know, I may change the thumbnail. That kind of hits, though. I wish it didn't have this, like, this stuff right here. But I think that hits, and I may just leave it like that. And look, he's got the green on there on his shirt to even go with Christmas. Okay? There's always more, y'all. Okay? There's always more. But I think I covered that as well as I could. Okay? So, sportscaster Greg Gumbel dies from cancer at age 78. And again, if somebody else, wants to add any connection to 78, go ahead and do so. Again, I could like search and try to find a 78, but I don't like doing that when I do my breakdowns. I like it just to flow naturally. Okay. So 78 at the age of 78 dies from cancer. Greg Gumbel. G is the 7th letter of the alphabet. So you get double sevens there, which maybe could be interesting with that 78. And that gumbo connection was great, if you ask me. And again, shout out to Richard West. Because this is why we do this, right? Because we get information all from each other, and it all validates what we say. And it's obvious we live in a scripted world. These are characters on the world stage. Consider it like soap operas. Okay? And if you ever like listen to maybe a family member who watches soap operas, or if you watch soap operas yourself, it's like the same thing. Removing characters from the world stage, drama, distractions, gossip. And look at, shout out again, Richard West with that 128. And only Richard may know that on a personal level, y'all. But look at the parent for Greg Gumbel. Look, Richard with that 128. And remember Raymond James Stadium. And wow, that's wild because me and Richard like are connected, and his link to his channel is on this homepage if anybody wants to go click it and go support him, listen to his videos. But we're connected by the numbers. I think they connect us on YouTube and they categorize us. So if you're viewing this now, there's some deeper connections probably with me and you. Okay? And this is amazing because look, this image of Greg Gumbel by Chris Connor, that's amazing because my last name is O'Connor. So again, shout out to Richard West, and I hope you're viewing this, man. Another great connection here, man. And just proving this scripted world we live in. Holy crap, right? So some undeniable connections. Sportscaster, again, this is like spell casting, right? Spelling, the language, okay? Multiple meanings for words, gematria. I'm just reporting it. Shout out to y'all. RIP Greg Gumbel. If you are really gone, okay? It's by the numbers, sir. At age 78 from cancer. And maybe you're out there and you're still around somehow. Maybe you're viewing this. Maybe others on the world stage. Maybe some of the puppet masters are viewing this. Like, wow, look at this code play out. And this guy's hitting on it heavy. Because I believe this stuff is all out of some computer system. Okay? So anyways, I appreciate y'all. Daily Decodes 812. Links to all my channels you'll see on this homepage. I'm very active on YouTube. And I'll be out in my real life spitting that knowledge as well. Okay? So anybody can take that how they want. deceived from a young age, as a lot of us are, and now this is what I'm going to do for my get back. Okay, and it doesn't just stop with this, as I stated. Appreciate y'all. Until next time, peace.